2025. It's your girl J-Lover, and we are here at Mical Teja's The Mass Experience.
It was absolutely wonderful. It was out of this world.
The culture taking us back to the roots.
Teja, he's an amazing humble artist. It's so next job he gets that one night.
It's Carnival 2025. I'm your girl J-Lover, and of course, I am bringing you the exclusive from right here at Mical Teja. First concert, Mass the Experience. I'm standing here with a man that needs no introduction, but Brian McFarlane, creative director extraordinaire. You would know him from Mass and concerts, and of course now Mical Teja. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Nice for you to be here as well.
I am so happy to be here for Mass the Experience. I love to see more cultural representation when we're doing soca.
Mical does that very well.
How did you get involved in this project?
Mical called me maybe about 6 months ago, and he spoke to me about it and his concept, and he wanted to bring in a lot of the traditional characters and so forth. And I immediately told my team, listen, whatever we do on that day, block it. Because I really want to work with this guy. I love his energy. I love how he brings the old with the new. And I just said we need to work with this guy.
Yeah, you know, like there is something to be said about the cultural representation when we have soca concerts, and not just in Carnival, but outside of Carnival. When people think about Mass, sometimes they just think about a little string and a bikini. But you come from the era of costume and design.
Drama and theater. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you know, I absolutely love that. How many years have you been in the business, and what are some of the highlights?
Well, I would have started maybe in my early 20s, maybe even late teens. And before actually bringing my own band, I worked with Raul Guard for many years, did the Kings and the Queens. And I had a couple of Kings and Queens of Carnival before I actually did my own band. And then, of course, I got a lot more Mass, Brian McFarlane Mass.
You know, there is this conversation surrounding the death of the pageantry of Mass, of the things that make it so flamboyant and beautiful, and that has it existing in the first place. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, constantly people meet me, and I guess because I was involved in Mass, and I did that very dramatic part of Mass, theatre of the streets, they will meet me and say, no, Carnival is dead, and I don't agree with them. Carnival to me is very much alive. But Carnival has always been and continues to be a reflection of who we are as a people. And right now, society is rather lost. I mean, we're talking worldwide, but we have it in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're kind of lost, and we're kind of drifting, and we're sort of senseless at this point of time. And a lot of the Mass that we project now is senseless. It doesn't have a core, doesn't have a story, doesn't have depth behind it. But I'm hoping with people like Mical that's going to turn around, that's going to change. And I'm seeing a lot of young people, you know, there's cycles in life, and we've had this traditional, when I say so, beads and bikinis running for quite a few years. And I think we're going to start to reach a part. I mean, you look at bands like Tribe, Lost Tribe, which are doing something quite beautiful now. We look at these two twins that are doing K2K, some beautiful work. So I think there's hope. There's hope to see creativity coming back into the Carnival.
You know, will we see you back on the road doing your own Mass band, or even contributing to other bands?
I don't know if you'll see me back on the road, although every season when it comes, my Mass camp is still there. I was preparing Mical's costumes in the Mass camp, and I have that spirit in me saying, God, I need to come back, you know. But I don't know if I'll actually come back there. I've always wanted to put on a proscenium stage Carnival production to travel and also promote Trinidad with. And who knows, maybe Mical and I might be doing something down the line. Who knows?
I absolutely love that idea. Tell me a little bit more about what that would look like.
Well, it will be a storyline that I've started developing too, but it's going to also pull on some of our traditional characters. Of course, there will be things like the pan. There's this sort of African bamboo dance that Tobago is very fantastic at, where they clap the bamboo. I want to involve that. Of course, imagine sitting in a beautiful theatre in Royal Albert Hall in London, and all of a sudden you hear the biscuit tins bursting and the whistles and jabs are coming through the audience. So it will be elements of all of that, but bringing a story together. So what I see is a vision of a Carnival stage production that is created with a storyline that shows here first and then goes out to promote bringing in foreign currency, promoting Trinidad and Tobago, and then we change it like every 2 years with a new cast, so new people get an experience, a new storyline, and we keep it vibrant constantly. And as I'm touching about that, I'm going to just talk here quickly about Rome. I am so proud of what Rome is doing right now with Carnival Catwalk. I saw him at the premiere and I told him how proud I am. When I watch the footage, it's not only about the Carnival Catwalk, it's what is showing of Trinidad and Tobago.
Absolutely.
Anyone looking at that wants to come and see our island.
The production value is so rich, so beautiful.
People like Rome and now people like Mical coming up, and if we could get something like this show going together, that's what it's all about, Culture is the drive of any nation.
Right, the culture moving forward. I love that you said that. The culture is the drive of any nation. And we love our nation. We love our country. Thank you so much, Brian.
We have so much culture. We're so ethnic. A melting pot of culture.
A big Kalalua culture. You have warmed my heart tonight, Brian. Thank you so much. This is your girl, J Lover, and it is 2025 Carnival. We're starting it off right here at Mical Teja, The Experience. How you doing? So what's your name and where you're from?
I'm Desrick. I'm from Vinci.
Oh, he's from St. Vincent. What brings you to Trinidad's Carnival?
Well, I'm actually into carnivals and stuff, so I'm here. So I'm just taking part in it while I'm here.
Oh, how are you taking part for Carnival?
Well, I attend the shows, whatever I could go to, I try to attend.
Oh, I love that. Participation equals taking part in Carnival, and I feel like that's how we should be looking at Carnival, right?
Yeah,
that when we come, we are participating in. Yeah, I love that. Well, listen, you have a great Carnival. What's some of the songs you're loving for the season right now?
Anything from Teja is really nice. Last year, Home, and this year, Energy. I love it, Vice. But Young Brother, and One Piece. That was my song for this Carnival.
Oh my God, that's a song for the season. All right, but listen, sing a little bit first now.
Well, I like the bend over, right?
Take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't. Carnival 2025, and I'm here talking to all the stars and all the artists, and of course this man probably needs no introduction, but of course he's one half of Freetown Collective.
Yes. Hey, yes. MR.TEMPO, love you all so much.
Now, how are you doing tonight? We're over here. We're at Mical Teja's The Experience, and I've been talking to people, and I'm like, this feels like a fete.
Yeah.
It feels like a cultural party. It feels like what Carnival is supposed to feel like when you go to a party.
Yeah, we're witnessing the rebirth of Calypso in its heyday. We're witnessing the rebirth of lyricism, dynamism, and just Trinidad energy. You know what I mean? So, soca, I feel as though it's taking a turn and reincorporating its mother form, which is Calypso, and it's beautiful to witness.
You know, I'm glad that you said that. And so express to people kind of like, when you say that, like what does that mean in terms of like rhythm and melody and vibe?
Soca has always been representative of how the people feel at any point in time. Soca took some of that and represented some of that in her own beautiful way, but some of the deeper issues were left behind, and some of the melody and the slowness and the sweetness and the bubble was left behind. And now, I feel as though soca is fully reincorporating that. So those elements of Calypso that we need to feed us as a people, not just to make us jump and wave, but to make us think and hold a little meditation, they're coming back again. So,
you know, I'm really loving that you said that, because of course we feel that with Mical Teja's performance and its music, but also Young Brother is bringing out sounds and rhythms that sound like that. You know, I had a chance to catch up with him the other day, and he identifies himself as the king of steam. He's creating his own lane, right? Yeah. And he's representing Trinidad. You know, as someone who has been in the business for so many years, you know, how would you describe your music and also your participation in the culture?
We have always been the Calypsonians, you know, we've always been the ones who sometimes address the heavier topics, and we've now found ourselves in the middle of soca and incorporated it into our music, you know. And so for me, I see our role as, you know, that little drop of essence in the juice. Yeah. You know, we not the full sugar, we not the, you know, but that little drop.
Right.
You know when you taste
Makes
it.
a difference.
Yeah, when you taste it, you know it there, you know. You might be able to tell what it is, and you might not always want it, and you just, you know, with that little drop of thing. And after a while, you're like, that had to be in there, you know? Yeah.
That's so sexy. I feel like Freetown. Freetown Collective is the little drop of essence that just changes the flavor and the dynamic of things.
Yeah.
You know, there is a huge conversation happening right now about the rebirth of the industry, right? Because people feel that the industry is being stagnated, that there are some structural barriers, you know, i.e. music suppression, right? But as well as, you know, the natural competitive nature of the music industry. How has Freetown Collective managed year after year, time after time, to stay relevant in this type of industry?
Yeah, soca like any living organism, Carnival like any living organism, Freetown like any living organism, has to evolve, right? And in the evolution, you have to have memory. You have to remember who you are, so as you evolve and you discard what you don't need, and you keep what you need, you remember who you are, so you don't discard vital things. You know what I mean? And in that evolution, that's what has happened. We knew what to throw away and we knew what to keep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew when we were stagnating ourselves and we had to come out of that box, and some people didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of people who only knew us when we were singing acoustic songs, just me and my brother and the guitar. And when we began to sing soca and other things, they say, you know, you all sell out, you all this, you all that. But you have to know when to throw some things away.
Yeah.
And what to keep.
And
That's the only way you evolve.
Yeah.
You don't evolve any other way.
You know, I absolutely love that because, you know, I find there is a lack of an intellectualization in our industry, in our culture, right? And so if we don't really get to that place, we're going to lose so much of that. What's your take on how we can move the industry forward, how we can show, you know, younger artists, you know, the way, the skill, and to give them better representation?
It's happening already. It don't need my take. I was just saying to GBM Neutron backstage, we witnessing a wave falling over on itself. And we're lucky to be alive in this time and to be at this age in this time, to be right here on it, right? Yeah. And in this wave, back in the day we would have heard that there was rivalry and all these different things between artists, and we don't have that. There's only love between the artists right now, only love.
Yeah.
Men might fall out every now and then, but there's a lot of love and a lot of support. And so all we have to do right now is continue doing what we're doing. We love each other's music, we show up at each other's events, we perform, and we give energy. Nobody didn't come here and get paid tonight.
You know, it's interesting that you said that because there is a conversation that's happening about the lack of support within the industry, that there are only a certain amount of people who go from fed to fed or who are really included in what we call the mainstream. And then there are other artists who may have had a good song a few years back and probably feel a little bit pushed back and slighted. There's a conversation that the Trini Bad Zest movement came out of artists who felt like they didn't get a chance in the soca industry.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and I saw the interview with Akeem as well.
yeah.
What I would say about that is we've created an industry where a lot of these songs are now being made not for the people, but for the promoters. People want to see where they're going to fit in the fet artists now. Artists have to stop thinking about what the promoters want and what they think the people want and all of that, and start to go back to self. We, as a people, are experiencing many different things. We have become independent how many ever years ago. We came through colonialism and slavery. We are living in a world where AI is coming up, all of these different things. The topics can be the same. And all an artist has is their own unique self. They have nothing else. The only job you have as an artist, if you have the talent, is to find out who you are. If you find out who you are and you become yourself, you will be undeniable. Is there some level of unfairness in the industry? Yes, because promoters are spending their money to make money. So they're going to hire people who they know people are going to show up to see. And if you want to get into that space, if you want to make that change, then you have to find yourself. And if I'm being very honest, there are way too many carbon copies.
Right.
And then carbon copies want to get vexed.
Right.
But if you already exist, why should someone listen to you? If you are listening to someone else and making what they are making, almost exactly. And if we read with ourselves, we realize so much of the music is sounding the same. So where are you in the music?
Right.
Because I want to hear you.
You know, I'm very happy that you're sharing that because I think it's needed that younger artists coming up or new artists, that they understand that it's a process.
I'll give you a story.
Tell me.
When I wrote Feel the Love, right, which to date is our biggest Carnival hit, right?
It's so big. It's so big.
I thought Feel the Love was just weird. I was like, what weirdness is this? You know, again, here, look, me, I come with my weirdness. Nobody not going to feel this is not soca. And I went back in studio with a whole new song. And Sheriff and Lou had to say to me, no, the other song is it. Because I was doubting myself, because I felt weird.
Because
and I
it
would
didn't
have
sound like the norm.
And if I had followed that vibes, I would not have put out Feel the Love. Do you understand?
I love it. Can you feel
Do you
the love? I get it.
So how many people out there are listening to other people or not listening to themselves and are missing their Feel the Love? They're missing their mass, they're missing their Take Me Home, they're missing their Oshun, they're missing their DNA, they're missing all of these things. You understand what I'm saying to you? You will not find it if you are going after someone else's place, because you will always be a step behind them.
You know, I love that you said that, and it really just blows my mind. I think that that's a gem for all artists. But I want to bring it back for a second, because today, you know, I interviewed Turner.
Okay.
And Turner is someone who has a good repertoire, right? But for the past few years, he hasn't been able to come back mainstream, you know, and naturally, of course, he feels a sense of hurt or whatever. But he has a unique sound. He constantly brings out new music. You know, what are some of the barriers with that? Because there is the conversation that there is a suppression of music.
Let's be real. There's a colorism barrier in the industry. There's all kinds of things happening, right? But artists also have to nurture your fan base. Freetown started 14 years ago. We throw our show, 5 people show up, then 10 people show up.
Right.
Then we had a show and 100 people show up.
Yeah.
Now when we throw a show, it's close to 800 and we push in, right?
Yeah.
So it's your responsibility to build a crowd that loves you. That's a part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
When you feel as though you are being unfairly treated,
Yeah.
and I can understand it, you have to be very careful how you express that as an artist. The space is a small space, and I'm not saying don't speak the truth. I'm not saying don't speak the truth, and nobody can say I don't speak the truth, right? But I'm saying that you cannot go out there and decide, because this bridge not letting you cross, that you are going to start burning down bridges. Don't do that. And I'm not saying anybody do that, you know. I'm just saying if it fall in your garden, fall in your garden. But you cannot decide, I am angry, I am not getting my just due. I'm going to go out there and start to call names and burn bridges.
What about if the bridge has already been burnt?
If the bridge has already been burnt, then to me the wise thing to do is to allow that bridge to stay where it is. Don't go now and set a fire that might burn other bridges. Again, I cannot tell anybody what to do. When something is grievous to me, I think about Lou, my brother. I think about my management team. I think about my family before I go on Instagram and say anything.
Think about your entire system and your entire structure.
And who I want to be in the ecosystem. Do I want to be somebody that I have a grouse and I go and I say, hey, I think this is unfair. But also, and I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege as well, right? Because we have set up a system where we don't rely solely on soca. So I acknowledge fully that I do not understand the pressures of someone who is solely a soca artist. But you have to be wise. And being wise doesn't mean you don't say what you have to say, you know. But we all know how this thing go. We know how it go. And as we try to change it, you know what they say, when you're hand in the lion's jaw, you gotta pull it out easy.
Solely, it is still a people and person-driven industry, and we're not machines. You know, I love what you shared. Thank you so much for always being so candid and truthful and progressive. Freetown Collective and Carnival. Tell me.
You are an amazing interviewer. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen somebody who kind of presses the question in order to get what needs to be said. So you're an amazing interviewer.
Thank you very much. You know, I've been working on my craft as an international cultural journalist, and sometimes, you know, I'm in a space where there's so many people who just want to do short cuts, and they want to ask you things like, so what is your next song? And how does the season going? You know, and for years I've been trying to push beyond that. And I really, you know, this year I said, I'm going to be me in this space because I want my industry to grow.
Clearly it's working. You have sparked me in the discussion.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Teja.
We're going to take a photo, okay? 2025, and of course, you know, the industry makes up with so many different people. And this is my boy, Junior Lee. How you doing?
I'm good for now, can't complain. Hope everything good on your side.
Everything is so good. I saw you the other day lifting up your crush. And you were carrying her. And I said, but this man is real strong.
Yeah, I'm strong. I'm from Maruga. I have muscles all over.
Do you think you can lift me up?
Yeah, I sure I can lift you. I don't not even think. I know I can lift you.
Oh! We're going to try that outside, right? But let me ask you a question. You know, as we're heading into Carnival 2025, you know, and there's so much good music and so much good vibes.
Right.
You know, what are some of the things that for you kind of stand out when you think about cultural representation?
That's an interesting question. It's also a very subjective question because I give you culture differently to other people give you it. You're good? For me, what stands out for me with the culture is when the artists, when I say artists, I'm talking about the pan men, the mass men, the mass women, the pan women, the artists on the stage performing, the comedians, all of us come together and push the music, push the art form, and just push the general vibe of Carnival. That is the beauty for me when it comes to Carnival, so yeah.
You know, I really love that. And as an entertainer, you bring us so many different views and dynamics, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you make us laugh throughout the season.
I try my best too.
Yeah, well, we're definitely laughing. You know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, the death of the culture. They feel like soca is only popping during Carnival, you know, as opposed to being something that's globally recognized or like, you know, just like on the main stage. You know, what are some ways, you know, you feel like you can contribute to the art form being much more global?
Well, I am not qualified to answer that question because I'm merely a comedian, so my suggestions wouldn't make any sense.
No, well, what I mean in terms of like you're an entertainer, right? So you entertain folks with comedy, and you showcase, you know, the culture. You're always connecting with folks, you know, within the culture. And when you travel, you carry the banner of Trinidad and Tobago.
So what I would say is I am a subsidiary of soca music and calypso music because I am a Trinidadian at the end of the day. So my comedy go in line with soca music. So I am just where the soca artists are. Like the people that come into my shows are people who come into this right now. So we have people there who come to my shows. So I am trying to figure out how to push it as well.
Yeah. So I love that, and I think that that's something that we need to intellectualize more and communicate more about. Is how to really move the culture forward as we play all our separate parts as well.
Indeed.
Me as a journalist, you as an entertainer, and of course everybody else that's here.
Yeah, for sure. We all just trying our best. And you push the culture too.
Yeah.
Like you create a whole big baccalaureate and then,
All I did was ask questions, you know.
You push the culture right now. People talking, so you just want to catch me.
No, but like, well, of course, but like, you know, like, there is a need to intellectualize our culture. There's a need to have conversations that go deeper than what party you're going and playing tomorrow.
True, and that is a good thing. Like you pushing the envelope when it comes to journalism in the Caribbean and in the entertainment industry.
Correct.
And that's needed now. We need people to speak freely and back their opinions. You know what I mean? So I respect it.
I appreciate that. We go all the way back. You all don't even know to Guadalupe bread.
Yeah, many years ago.
Many years ago, like Cassie's.
So it's nice seeing you.
Thank you so much.
It's good vibes.
It's Carnival 2025 and we're here at Mass The Experience. How did you enjoy it?
It was absolutely wonderful. It was out of this world. Amazing.
I loved it. Absolutely. Fantastic. I saw Mical Teja last year at Lost Tribe.
Yeah.
And had no idea who he was. Now I'm like a fan.
Oh, it was amazing.
10 out of 10, Mical. Big up you, my brother.
It was great, I had a great time. Quality.
Yeah.
Quality.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was very wonderful. Excited. I enjoyed every moment.
It made you feel like you actually came to a party, right?
Exactly. This was my first, and I enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Excellent. Top of the line performance.
I just tell you, it was great. It was wonderful. Excellent. Awesome.
What everything. Every cent. Beautiful show.
What did you enjoy most about the show?
The culture, taking us back to the roots. Felt like it was back to home again.
I love that.
Sweet home.
Very good. I'm so impressed with the entire show. Really and truly.
amazing, humble artist. So next year I'll be here exactly 190. People used to keep up the good work because we would be here next year, 2025, 2026, we'll be here.
It was great, Mical, I'll be here again next year. Mical is a good artist. He is a young man who I'm well pleased, and I'm next year only going up from here.
But I'm telling you, I'm counting my lucky stars because finally I can interview Ding Dong.
Thanks for having me. You know I always do it.
Yeah, listen, you know, you are such a good entertainer in all aspects. I know that you're a soca artist, but even when we look at your Instagram live, you know, you kind of put yourself out there. You're not afraid to laugh, not afraid to be you in the space.
Yeah, for sure. It's just me. It's just a whole energy behind the whole person who is Ding Dong, just full jovial, nice, free spirit.
Yeah. I really love that, and the fact that, you know, I know that you have worked with Mical years ago because he started to write songs for you.
Not years ago. We work every year. Every year we have a contribution together.
Every year for how many years so far?
For the past 4 years, every year he has made a significant contribution to my career because of the role I actually play in his life as well. So it's a team effort.
What role is that?
No, you remember, at the end of the day, if you really look at the journey of Mical, it all started with my first hit song, which is Outside. And he had a song called Birdie and the Rhythm. And then we started going all over the country promoting the songs together. So that is where people started to know him personally as an artist. Before, it was just on the production side. So that way he started to develop his artist craft, and we started to just move around and maneuver in the space. So it was a good vibes, and we always work together and just encourage each other and just try to do big things. Yeah.
How do you feel now just being here performing on his first show and it just being such a success?
Well, for me, is you remember we every day we speak for at least, we do everything together. We gym together, we sing.
Wait. You and Mical gym together, sing together?
Every day.
Real brothers.
Yeah. He lives like actually 5 minutes from me. So there's a whole different energy behind myself and Mical. You understand?
Oh, you know, I love that. You know, like you and him are showing such support to each other.
Yeah.
Everyone that I interviewed talks so much about the interconnectedness that they have with Mical and how much of a support. You know, I'm realizing a common thread with Mical Teja. When folks talk about him, they talk about how interconnected they have been with him and how, you know, they have this symbiotic relationship, which now you're describing. How important is the relationships among artists in order to grow the industry?
Well, you see, the type of relationship we have, you wouldn't find that with other artists because we share a common goal. We have a vision, what we want for ourselves, where we want to be, when and why. You understand? So for us, it's like team building, and we just embrace each other and just try to build each other strength by strength, day by day, hour by hour, month by month. So it's constant work, no sleep, just persistence and hard work.
You know, every year you are a mainstay in Carnival, right? Or even just in moving the culture forward, because you bring out a song or two or three, you're constantly performing. People are always requesting you. There are a lot of artists who talk about not being able to get onto shows, and sometimes they're the same artists over and over again on these shows, and like there's no space for them. How do you continue to be a mainstay, to be somebody who a promoter will call and say, I want Ding Dong on my show? And then what does it mean to persevere as an artist in this space where competitiveness is a real thing?
Well, for me, in that aspect of your accent, so for me, it's like relationship building, it's like networking. So in a space, it's like an ecosystem. So you just have to know where the food chain is, and you have to align yourself. So for me, and this should go for everybody else, just aligning yourself properly should be the main focus of you as an artist, a part of doing the music. So just the proper alignment.
As someone who's musically inclined, what do you think some of the things are, some of the ingredients for making a good soca song?
Well, for me, I must have strong melody, I must have catchy phrases, and I must keep within what is going on with and around, well, the whole diaspora. You understand?
Yes, I
so
understand.
I don't want to like use like dated words now. So I just try to keep it as youthful and hip as possible.
Right. You know, I really love that about you because you always come up with that really catchy phrase.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Wadek say the other day that, you know, the industry needs more love. It needs more togetherness to grow. What are some of the ways you think that the industry can actually grow beyond where it is right now?
I don't really have the answer for that, but for us who actually work with a body of music throughout the year, we just must be doing everything with a real good heart, a good spirit, and just striving from time to time just to develop our own craft personally before we try to study anything out of that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we focusing on just building each other, and there's a lot of us within the space, right? So we just focusing on bettering ourselves today. I understand?
Yeah.
And not trying to focus on others now, because a lot of people focus on other people, and that is why they kind of stunt their own growth. So when you focus on yourself now as a person and an individual, you kind of tend to move a little faster because you're not studying others. You understand?
You know, I spoke to Freetown Collective and they shared that sentiment. And in order to be a great artist, you have to be authentic to yourself and who you are in the industry. So thank you for doing that. But let me ask you another question before I let you go, because I know it's late. But, you know, where do you think you know, the soca industry can go as a genre? And do you feel as though soca is only relevant during Carnival?
Now, well, over the years, you realize the soca music is getting better, it's getting wider, it's playing yearly, year round. So I think it's growing from strength to strength. But when you look at other industries, every industry who came and they conquer is just like somebody who's sponsoring, who's responsible. You need like somebody like some big businesses to come in and actually sponsor the music, actually invest in it. So for me, all we missing is just an investor right now.
So the music needs more investment. What would a good investment look like?
I can't tell you because I don't have that knowledge. You understand? But all I know for now, from me looking for that, is that we need investment in the music, and that is what would take us to the next level.
Yeah, you know, I agree with that. Orlando Octave the other day when I interviewed him, he shared that there should be like academies in school to grow people so that they teach them how to hold a mic, how to perform. How did you learn to be a performer?
Well, it's just me looking on and just learning the craft from looking at all those things, Soca Monarch, Synergy Soca Stars, Calypso Fiesta. So I always looking at live performers since I'm a DJ. So just looking to get a feel, get a pulse, to know how to vibrate in the space.
Oh, I love that. So definitely one more question. So listen, if on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being I cannot take it and 10 being I could take it, how hot do you like your pepper?
Not 10, I really like pepper.
You really like pepper? Your pepper mouth?
Yeah, I like pepper mouth.
So scorpion don't do you nothing?
No, it would affect you because remember it's your body. Right. So it may not affect you at the point in time, but after, if you understand what I'm saying, it would affect you.
What goes in must come out. Listen, but soca music is staying in us and it's going to blossom all over the year. And people like Ding Dong is carrying the torch really high with others like Mical, Teja. Thank you, Ding Dong.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
It is Carnival 2025 and I can tell you that we just experienced the mass experience that came from Mical, Teja. Can I just tell you something? Like, I felt like I was in a fete, a true representation of what it feels like when you embody soca music and the whole culture.
Thank you. I think that was definitely the intention, that we fete and we have a good time, but also intertwining with our traditional culture. So I'm glad that you said that. It means a lot.
You know, I really loved what you did as far as explaining along the way in your promotion about what was coming, and of course all the cultural icons. What kind of gave you that idea?
Well, it all started with this song that we have called Mass, started with Freetown a couple of years back. And while I was on stage, as I said, when I talked to Brian in October about it, I was like, Brian, I want to try and marry our traditional culture within the fetting aspect and really marry the both of them. And he really, really believed in the vision. So it was having him on board to really fine-tune and also educate me on certain things as well. So hats off to Brian McFarlane, the legend, for coming on board and making this one possible as well. And I must also say thank you to the whole White Oak for being a title sponsor and making this what it is, and my B-Mobile family. It wouldn't be possible without them. So thank you to all of them and the entire team as well. Management, .10, the wholesale family, everybody, thank you.
Everything about this felt so good and so natural. The feedback from patrons who are coming back next year, this was an awesome fete. I noted that this fete was intergenerational.
Yes.
Everyone came and they felt comfortable.
So that's the thing. I think what our culture is something that you pass on from generation to generation. So it's important. I wanted a place where it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your creed, it doesn't matter your race. I want the real representation of what it is to be Trinbagonian. Old, young, in between, black, white, Chinese, everybody come together and we play a mass. Because that's what playing a mass is about. It's about coming together as one now. And I'm so glad that with this first installation, we were able to achieve that. You have a space where everybody could intertwine and become one as a community.
You know, I was talking to Freetown Collective and they said to me, as an artist, in order to stand out, you must lean into yourself. A couple of years ago, I said to you, what type of woman do you like? And you told me, peaceful.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about who you are. And so I love the fact that you talked about just going back and bringing folks forward. And everything that you do kind of reflects that peaceful nature.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mical, Teja. It has been an amazing experience.
Thank you, and big up the Tempo as well for making this one possible, and Cockwell for being here and, you know, just giving us that energy. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Yes. Always. Thank you so much.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to hit that bell to get notifications for more things Tempo.